You need to put your feet in the water sometimes. Wise words from the Thai farm. Yeah, man, look at all those. Look at all them snails on there, man. I tried to be careful.
We're starting here, starting right now. 1, 2, 3. We breathe it in. We feel our hearts, they're pounding, rising up to feel the fire dance wild through our veins. We take a chance and know we'll never be the same. Giving it all we got, giving it all. Giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world. No fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? How you doing? Well, another lazy kind of day here on the Thai farm because, you know, I tell myself when I get up in the morning, I don't want to do anything today. But, you know, I get out and do a little walk around and I start knowing that I got to do stuff or I want to do stuff. Other than just sitting here with my feet in the water because, you know, you need to put your feet in the water sometimes. Wise words from the Thai farm. And the sun's just going to be breaking, I can tell right now, over the top of the tree. This is I'm here on pond number 2. It's still shaded. Great place to have morning coffee. I already had my morning pot of coffee. And today, what I thought I would do, maybe I should lie down. Oh my God. So yeah, maybe what I thought I would do is do some cutting. After assessing my roof over there in the Krabby Shack, I have to cut more of the mango tree away in order for the roof angle to be right. I was trying to find out what the best height would be for the loft. And it said that the minimum floor to ceiling height, you know, in the main part would be 7 feet. You know, for a tiny home or whatever, and that the apex of the loft would also be 7 feet, which, fair enough, that sounds reasonable. I mean, you know, I'm 6 foot, so I could stand up in the middle, technically, even though there's going to be a bed surface. So, but you know, like many lofts, if you're just being able to sit up like I am now, maybe on the bed surface or whatever, or a bed box where your feet are able to hang over a little bit, that's probably going to be high enough. I don't need it to be super high like my shop house. So, and structurally it'd be a little easier and, I don't know, maybe safer if it was, you know, 7 foot is about like this, 9 foot is about like that. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, I got to cut those branches around, the mango around the side. What else was gonna? Oh yeah, I wanted to cut the branches over here by the water system as well. And I wanted to actually cut my new, not new, but you remember I drug that tree over there from outside. And it's laying there. It's a pretty heavy, thick log. I wanted to see how my chainsaw does on that. And actually, if you remember, over there somewhere, there's that big old fat log that I tried to, and failed. Tried to, you know, burn the hole out of the middle, like started the fire in the middle and tried to burn a hole down in there. But it wound up going on the side. But what I like to do is try and cut that thing right down the center. And then I have two halves. If I did it right, I might be able to make those halves into a sink. And you've seen those wooden sinks. You know, that is if it's not all eaten out of the middle or whatever. It's held up pretty good. I mean, it was kind of rotten before I started, but it's held up pretty good. So maybe today I'll try and start a sink project with that cut. I'll see how good it cuts. If it cuts my big tree over there good, then I had some ideas for that. I forget though. Maybe I'll make it a base for the sink. Hey, yeah, so I'll cut the sink first. If that looks like it's gonna work, I'll cut a section or two, if I make two sinks, out of that big tree log for base, just so I can put them somewhere. But it's a brand new chain on the chainsaw. I still haven't used it yet. I think I mentioned in another video that I bought the new chain. And it was a really, you know, fairly robust chain, you know, a nice, looks like probably nice stainless or something. It's twice as heavy as the other chain that the saw came with, which, you know, fair enough, cut stuff, but this looks like it'll cut way faster. So I'm hoping that it does that without flying off and cutting me in half. So we don't want that. Anyway, probably gonna need my long sleeves, definitely my hat. I probably should try and find my full face, because when you're cutting the trees, I'm telling you, dude, that debris and that ant, even I got my hat on, it'll find its way down my shirt collar into my neck. And those ants, if they are, when there will be, they bite, man. We don't want that. That freaking hurts, man. So, you know, lazy, hazy, crazy days of year-round summer here on the Thai farm. You gotta love it. It's just a good feeling when you don't have to go anywhere. You know, there's no alarm. I don't have to get ready. Let's go to freaking work for somebody else, listen to all their bullshit. I can just sit here and I can look at the flowers I planted. Yeah. Oh, look at the orchid tree there. Some kind of Chinese orchid. You know what I mean? And more bananas. Those two bananas over there are growing. Yeah, man. So yeah. All right. Well, let me get geared up and get that chainsaw out. And yeah, electric chainsaw, by the way. All right. Back at you. Okay, well, here it is. I moved it from over there to over here. So, give you a perspective. It's a pretty big, right? Pretty fat old boy. And the idea is I'm gonna try to cut that thing right down the middle. I'll do it on this side because this side's got that burn gouge. And I don't want that, all that black charcoal come flying up at me. Hopefully it'll work, man. My chain is, I tightened it as much as I could. It is a 16-inch chain, but it's giving me a little bit of play there. Maybe I mean, that much play after use isn't a problem, but when you're first using it, you probably want it a little tighter, but we'll have to see. I'm getting out of breath here because it's first thing in the morning. I'm tired from yesterday. All right, man. Hopefully I don't cut myself. You know, I got my gloves and my other glasses and all that, but I still got my bare feet, so if I drop the chainsaw. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be easier, but if I remember, this is kind of hard wood. And for me, it's always easier cutting this way than it is this way. It's cutting it okay, I think. It's gonna take its time. Hopefully the batteries don't run out. That'll be also another test for these batteries. They both punched out at 4 lights, so they're full. And I think I need to just let it fall through there instead of trying forcing it through there. That's probably better. I was wondering what was slowing down a little bit. Turns out this thing ain't 16. It's like 20 wide, or 20, yeah, it's like 20 wide. So this was hitting the end over there, and I'm like, what? All right, let me finish up. Alrighty, well, it appears that my battery did not last for that big tree, and I need to charge it, so I'm charging it. Although the one battery seems to have power, and the other one only showed 2 lights instead of 4. It was kind of weird. And then actually when I plug the charger in it, it stays green instead of turning red like the other battery. And I'm thinking, oh, don't tell me this battery's hooked up now. Shit, I needed to cut this tree, but because I don't have the chainsaw, I got the little one, but I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna just see if I can use my machete to chop down some of these branches. I just need to get all these. So looks like I'm gonna have to cut the little one, medium one, maybe not. I probably would cut the big one if I had a chainsaw, but I'm not gonna hack through that with my machete. Just gonna try and get as much as I can over there. I'll probably have to cut here to make it look normal. One of the things I found the other day, actually when I cut these, I'll probably just let them fall in the water, because when I was in the water the other day to move my pump down that way and get the fountain out of here, I found a branch that I had from before, and I was gonna throw it out, but this is it. I don't want to get in the water, but yeah, man, look at all those. Look at all them snails on there, man. They're all over this guy. So, get back in the water. Yeah, man. So, I noticed also with the, you know, if I put a fresh piece of bamboo laying in the water, the snails all like to jump on it, but not so much after it's already been in the water for a long time. And the tree branch, that's been in there since the other time when I cut this, when I was first starting to, you know, demolish the wall here and stuff. So whatever, a month or something. But anyway, I expect that what they'll do is they'll just be mowing on the bark, and then when it's not viable anymore, they'll leave, you know. So I'm gonna cut these off, drop these in there. It'll probably attract a whole boatload more of those snails, and then I'll be able to harvest them. I'll escargot them. All right, man, let's hack at it. on second thought, that's not going to be something I want to do. I'm gonna have to wait for a chainsaw, man. Oh my God. Mostly because, one, I'm old. I'm trying not to convince myself of that. But my shoulder here, my rotator cuff, you know, I can't pull, I can't raise it over my head and pull down on it. I'm using those cuff muscles and I'm gonna tear it up. Oh, shit. Maybe. I was hoping this thing would show the lights. I mean, I got this one charging, but even when I take the charge out, I got 4 lights, so it's in good shape. Although I'm giving it an extra charge. So that light on this one's still red. This one shows green as if it's done, but when I pull it out, I only get 2. And it's been in there for, you know, a good 15 minutes. So it should have probably went to at least 3. Anyway, let me see what I can find. We'll be back at you. Yeah, well, that battery died for sure. You need both of them. But I just thought of something, and that is I do have 2 batteries that I was using for my what's that called? Hedge trimmer. They're a little bit stronger than the regular one for that little chainsaw, so I'm gonna try and get one of them. It's probably only half of one of these, but maybe it'll work. Whew. Okay, back at you. Well, this is my other battery. It's for the little one. But it's got the same feed on it, although it says here max 1.5 amp hours, which is fine. And this one, 21 to 268 volts, and this is 24 volts, so it should work. For how long, I don't know. Fits. And it works. All right, man. Let's get back up there, Craig. Okay, got some more juice. Got 4 bars on both batteries, although still red on the charger, so the 4 bars probably doesn't have full juice, but it's enough to let me do some more cutting. I don't want to get huge branches in the water, but let's get it done. I think that's all right. Let's maybe pull some of this. Okay, so I figured out I'm gonna let those batteries charge, and then see if I can't. I'll just start cutting some of this metal. I know that it's gonna fly sparks everywhere. But I don't know if I should. It's gonna be easy enough to cut through these little bars to get this off. But it's got the weld. They got a weld on the bottom here, and each one of those crossbars got welds on them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut through that stuff very easy. And I only have this one blade I just see, so I'm gonna be kind of shy on that one. I have to go onto my scooter and get me some more blades. I have put my grip on there so I don't get my hand chopped off. Yeah. I want to do a like. Let me sit down for this. Yeah. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to do a rethink, man. Because, you know, trying to cut the welds and preserve the integrity of the tube seal, I don't think I can do that. I can't re-weld. I can't just get it hot and undo the weld. I'll burn a hole right through the tubing. And grinding it, trying to cut through it right at that angle, the flat angle. I can't get a flat angle with the hand grinder like that anyway. Even big grinder probably can't get a flat angle. But that cuts the tubing. So that begs the question, should I cut the tubing? Just cut it at the, as far as I can get it, which is that the inside length, or the top length between the two posts. I mean, I'd be cutting it just on the inside of this pole over there, inside of that pole, and then I'd have all those lengths that wouldn't be that long. And I suppose, all things considered, maybe I would be able to weld two together to make it longer. I mean, I've done that before. Actually, that one joint I showed you, the guy put the open tube steel and then the closed tube into it, like slid it in there. But I got, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to cut through the tubing, to cut it off, try and preserve as much length as I can, and then I'll be left with the tubing that's on the overhang, and then the lengthwise tubing. But I need to, I don't know how strong that is. Once I cut it off, I'll know how strong the side tubing is. It doesn't look that strong. I mean, it's only got the thin metal that was inside the post, right? It's only got the thin metal, 4 pieces, 2 of them welded to both sides of steel. And I don't know if that's going to be strong enough to support a more vertical roof. See this here? This right here, I mean, it feels pretty solid, but that don't look good enough for me, man. So once I cut through here, I will then cut through here to be able to take that whole rail off. Maybe actually, yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, I should be able to, because this is, I do want to raise it, right? I got to raise this whole piece up to 7 foot. So the idea is if I cut this off and then I cut part of this out, you know, like I make the shelf here, I can actually flip this piece so that this bar fits in that shelf and can be bolted to it. I'll drill right through there, can be bolted to it and resting on it. And then maybe even this, because it's already solid welded, maybe this can be part of the vertical part. I don't know. So I just know that now it's pretty clear that what I have to do is cut through here to actually, shit. This one doesn't have a weld on it, but it's got a little bit of weld here, a little bit, two top welds probably on each of these. Doesn't look like there's no weld there, no underside, but there's one on both sides. Maybe they did that to, you know, that maybe that'll be a little bit easier to remove those by cutting through that weld, because there's nothing underneath. The corner pieces were different, and this steel is totally different too, right? This is the open tube steel, not this little, you know, 1/2 inch by 2 inch or whatever it is. This is much stronger stuff. Anyway, I just gotta cut it apart, man. And with that, before that, I need to go get some more blades, because I'm gonna go through them. When you're pushing the metal through you know, cutting, these things kind of polish down pretty quick. So I'll put this in the shade while I go out and forage for more blades. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that one. The phone or the GoPro turned off. But when I was cutting through the metal, I didn't account for that, or I might have accounted for a little bit, but not like that. So this, because the roof has been up in place, it's binding. So that first cut through there, boom, popped off with a pretty big bite. And this is the old blade, and this is a new one. So it's definitely bigger. It gives me better control to cut through it, but I can't cut through the whole thing. I have to move it around like that, which makes it a little bit more difficult. But dang, man, I'm just thinking of it binding up here, you know. Again, this goes, I'm probably gonna say this on every project that I do, which is, God, it was so simple looking at it. I was just gonna cut this stuff up and throw it on the side and blah blah blah. But I don't think so, man. You know, it's I think maybe what it is that it's not often a one-man job, and that's what I do, right? The DIY, emphasis on the why, yourself. But it's just scary, and I have a history with that grinder, so it's a little bit more scary like that, you know. It's all right. I'll do it. I'll do it. Until I can't do it. God damn it. It was scary though. I thought, you know, if this thing, these discs break off, you know, a piece of this can go flying, go stick in a wall like in a hurricane. Or a human. But I'm probably wear my apron. Nah. I just try to be careful. I try to be careful. Now I just gotta do that 6 more times, risking life and limb. One thing I realized might have been a good idea, and I did it a couple, 2 or 3 places here, was that instead of cutting it all the way through, cut it like uneven on one side so that there's this piece of hair metal kind of holding it, so I have it being held in these couple places. That way I can get through. But of course I use this piece of bamboo to prop it up in different places. Now when I take that bamboo out, the overall weight should cave in the whole roof. So the question is how to pull the bamboo out without falling on me. I think I'm gonna do that by just hitting it with another piece of bamboo. Knock the floor out, you know. See? See? That thing would have fell on me, it would have been a big ouch. I did slam on my looks like my level and my machete over there. But whoa, at least it's not on the camera. And oh yeah, I got it on the ladder because I had the ladder with the hammer on the top rung of the ladder propping up over there instead of a piece of bamboo. Now the task is, like I mentioned, it's these welds right here. I should be able to cut through these and be able to pull these off of there. That's what I want to do. This one was a 2-piece, so it's folded on the weld. Probably there was a little bit of a weld there. It looks like the ladder's holding it up a little bit too. So anyway. Thing falling on me. leave it hanging on that wall right there. That gives me the height on this I can use to might be easier to cut it, so I don't have to bend over so far. Again, the trick though is trying to cut it without ruining the piece of metal. Well, let's get on it. Well, that's enough stress for that part of the day. I never did take a break, really. How's that look? Wait a minute. I'm gonna get my battery and my blades. Yeah. Phew. I gotta do something. I gotta work towards finishing this roof, the initial frame and all that, because, dude, I don't want to be working in the hot sun like this. The sun bearing down on you. I mean, it's hot right now. It's probably like 90 or something. You know, it gets up in there in that hundreds. I do not want to be there without shade. I should have put the fan on out there, but I didn't. Anyway, I'll take a break. I'll get into something else. I'll get back at you. All right. Well, it's been a couple of hours actually that I charged that saw, and you know, I got 4 greens on each one of them, but the chargers are still on red. And so that's kind of weird. I'm not fully charged, I guess, but I was sitting over there, and the way this looks and the way the whole tree looks, I'm gonna need to cut this big old branch right here, basically. So that's gonna be another one. Do some more cutting, man. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, when it's fully charged, or damn near fully charged, it seems to be cut pretty good. Or at least it cut mango trees pretty good. Yeah, let's go see if I cut that up. Let's go see if I can cut the rest of that big old log. If I have time, or if I have power, I'll come back and cut that tree. Ow. Yeah, man. You gotta get her done. I think there's enough power to finish it up. Wait, no bats on that one. See, this one give me 3, nothing over there. I know, man. I'm gonna have to probably charge it overnight. That's hard down in there. It's probably 80% cut now. I'll get her done. But for now, looks like that's gonna be enough for today. Whew! Yeah. Oh my gosh. I am what I am. Oh. Sweating some bullets. All right, man. Well, hey, if that ain't enough, all right, y'all. Another day of my here on my life on the Thai farm. So thanks for watching, and keep watching for more chainsaw activity here on the Thai farm. Back at you.